RC tweeted, "I believe Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's had the greatest career at the most important position in the sport. With that in mind, I wonder if he would be the #1 overall pick if we put every player from the last 25 years in the same draft." Ryan Clark, explain that tweet.
Listen, when I look at Tom Brady and what he's accomplished, after this last Super Bowl, to me, he put the greatest of all time conversation out of reach. Even if Patrick Mahomes wins 4, wins 5, which I thought was all he would need to be in that conversation or overtake Tom Brady because of his talent, I don't think he can do it. To go to a new place, to be the GM of that team, to bring that team to a Super Bowl after they'd only won 1 in the history of their franchise. But if you put him in a draft, would you take him over Aaron Rodgers? Would you take him over Patrick Mahomes? Is there some skill player that you would take before? Is it a Randy Moss? Is it a Calvin Johnson before Tom Brady? Even knowing what we know, if you put GMs in the room and you gave them 25 years of players, would we take Tom Brady first overall? And I think if they were being honest with themselves, they wouldn't. And that's extremely interesting in the greatest team sports of all time.
I totally agree. Certainly that it is interesting. But Domonique, do you agree with the premise? If you let all these guys decide, you put everybody in a hat, 25 years worth of draft picks, would Brady go #1?
I don't think so. I mean, I think you could throw Peyton Manning in that conversation also. I think you would get no argument whether he's the greatest of all time, but is he the best? I think you would get plenty of argument there. So I believe in Tom Brady like I believe in science. But if you're looking at true talent and building a roster around somebody, what RC just said was right. This is the most kind of team-dependent game out there in a position that is very dependent at quarterback. And it's not basketball, where you just put a guy out there and it completely changes the rest of the team. I think the guys that you would look at, the names
but
that
that's the thing.
RC mentioned.
Dom.
Go ahead.
But that's what's crazy. You brought him to Tampa, and he completely changed the team, right? Like, we've never seen a football player.
But I agree with you. I agree with you. However, if you look at the way that he played, like, it wasn't because of him. Maybe we're still arguing that it's some intangible presence that he brings that made that defense play better and made that the rest, everybody around that work better. But if you look at that playoff run, like, Tom Brady wasn't special in that moment. It wasn't like we saw some, like what he did against the Falcons in that game. And again, you look at the Falcons and maybe think they had more to do with that than Tom Brady did. It's hard to have this conversation without people thinking you're taking something away from Tom Brady. But I think we're trying to have a factual conversation. Like, he's the greatest. No one wants to take anything away from him, but he ain't the best.
Here's why I like it, RC, and Dan, I'll come to you in a second, but it is the perfect distillation of what is wrong with the process, which is that these guys would start overthinking it. They would start looking past the tape. They would they'd look at the game film, but wait a minute, how about the cone drill? We need to look at Aaron Rodgers, much better at the cone drill, and by the time they got through the cone drill, they would talk themselves out of Tom Brady. He's still running the 40 from 23 years ago or whatever it was, and they would talk themselves into drafting someone who didn't put as good as stuff on film. Graziano, what do you think?
Yeah, they'd line up to take Mahomes first overall, right? Because you look at the eye-popping ability and you imagine what can be done with you can do with Mahomes is different from anything anyone's ever done before. So yes, I think, and that may be the right call. It may be that Mahomes ends up winning more, but Greeny, your point is absolutely correct. I mean, all Tom Brady has done is play football at an incredibly high level for a long period of time. And you know, Dom, you can look at the playoff run and say he wasn't great, but he was also like 1,000 for 1,000 on third down in the first half against the Saints, right? I mean, like, he was great when they needed him to be, and I think the overall confidence that he brought to the team definitely had an effect as an intangible that mattered, but people don't draft on that. And so you're talking about a hypothetical draft. You draft the projection, you draft the ability, you don't necessarily draft the all-time work ethic.
You're not wrong about anything that you said, but then you started talking about all these things that you can't measure. And Greeny's talking about looking at the tape. If you look at the tape doesn't suggest that Tom Brady's the best. You're talking about stats. Look at the stats. The number of Super Bowls, that's what suggests that Tom Brady is the best, not the tape. If you break down the tape, there are things that other players can do that are better than Tom Brady. Tom Brady is still the greatest of all time.
So who do you take, Domonique? Any player in the last 25 years, Nick, who you got?
Oh, I take Ryan Clark. I want that mentality on my team. I'm building my team around a dude who don't care about himself as much. Man, I mean, RC cares about winning a game more than he cares about his own well-being. That guy's who I'm building the team around.
I like it. And
Hey,
I was going to ask,
you're going to be just like Goody Mane.
That's fine.
You're going to be just like Goody Mane.
Me
They
and
going to
Goody
be
Man
out
going
of
to be
here.
unemployed. That's fine. We were unemployed, but we did it our way.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.